Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Briscoe. It is Tuesday, the 6th of January. This is CTV News. Tonight, a tragic turn. A child mauled by dogs dies in the hospital. Closed for safety. Another iconic bridge may be in trouble. And creating connections, a group that fosters art and friendships.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Briscoe.
Good evening. We begin tonight with a heartbreaking development in the story of the young boy attacked by 3 dogs while riding his bicycle in Nova Scotia over the weekend. The 13-year-old has died from his injuries. CTV's Hafsa Arif has more now from Shelburne County.
It's a quiet road in a less populated part of Shelburne County, a place where neighbors wave as they pass and everyone knows who lives where. Today, that quiet was broken by devastating news. A 13-year-old boy who lives along this road has died from injuries he suffered in a dog attack. People here describe a close-knit community, one that's now trying to come to terms with a sudden loss. We reached the boy's mother by phone. She was too emotional to speak. Since the boy's death was confirmed, someone who lives nearby says the impact has been immediate and overwhelming. A distraught neighbor tells us that in a small community like this, everyone feels it. Now, police say the boy was bicycling near his home last Saturday evening when he was attacked by 3 large breed dogs. The boy suffered life-threatening injuries and was airlifted to hospital in Halifax. The dogs involved in the attack were later euthanized by a veterinarian. The municipality of the District of Shelburne confirmed the death in a statement released earlier today, calling the loss unimaginable and extending condolences to the boy's family, friends, and classmates. The Tri-County Regional Center for Education confirmed the boy was a grade 8 student at Shelburne Regional High School. In a statement, the center says, "A loss such as this is felt widely, and we recognize the impact it has across our schools and broader communities." As for the investigation, RCMP will only say they're looking into the circumstances of the attack. In the meantime, as this community mourns, residents say their focus remains on providing support to the boy's family and one another. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Welshtown.
A high-profile double murder trial got underway in Moncton today. More than 6 years ago, a couple were shot to death in their home in Dieppe. Today, the Crown began to make its case against the suspected hitman. CTV's Derek Haggett has more.
Jansen Baker's double murder trial began this morning with the Crown prosecution's opening statement. The jury were shown crime scene photos of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier, who were shot and killed in their Dieppe home on September 7th, 2019. A full courtroom heard an armed intruder under the cover of darkness shot the Sauniers in the head while they were in their nightclothes. The couple's son, Silvio Saunier, was struggling with addiction and was living with them, but was not home at the time of the murders. The jury heard Silvio lived a complicated life and was involved in the drug trade. The jury was told Silvio's associates believed he was a police informant. The Crown alleges Nicholas Daniel Bain directed Baker about killing Silvio. The Crown says it will call a witness who will testify that Jansen Baker admitted that he broke into the house looking for Silvio and shot the Sauniers in Rosemarie's bedroom. The witness's identity is protected under a publication ban. He is expected to testify Thursday. Silvio Saunier died in 2023. Foul play was ruled out. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. The trial will resume on Thursday and is expected to last 3 months.
Derek Haggett there reporting from Moncton. Crown lawyers are recommending jail time for the former head of the IWK Health Center. Tracy Kitch was convicted of fraud and her sentencing hearing began in Halifax today. She is barred from contacting anyone at the hospital. Her lawyer argues an 18-month conditional sentence would be appropriate in this case.
The Crown position, which I presented today, is that for fraud over $5,000, she should receive a sentence of 9 months incarceration followed by 24 months probation.
Judge is expected to hand down the sentence on February the 4th.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Police in St. John looking for help in connection with an arson investigation. A shed burned to the ground on Prince Edward Street back on November 15th. The nearby building also damaged. Firefighters reportedly saw a woman leaving the scene when they arrived, and police would like to find her and speak with her. Anyone with information on the woman's identity is asked to contact St. John Police. Nova Scotia's government is remaining non-committal about a campaign promise to cap power rate increases at the Canadian average. Premier Tim Houston made that pledge during the last campaign, but a spokesperson for the Energy Department today didn't directly answer a question from the Canadian press on whether the government would proceed with that plan. Instead, she said the department is considering all options for Nova Scotians to get clean, affordable electricity. The ongoing repercussions of the U.S. raid on Venezuela are causing some concern among maritime tourists who typically head to the Caribbean at this time of year. Cuba is especially popular, but that country had been providing security for Nicolas Maduro since he came to power. Now, though, those trips don't seem like a very good idea to some folks.
International travel to the Caribbean is being impacted. I thought, when I saw what was going on Saturday morning, the Americans put in a notification about airspace being closed, along the Venezuelan coast.
In South America in particular, right now Venezuela is listed as avoid all travel, and other countries around that are travel with caution or just regular, take normal travel precautions.
The Trump administration has acknowledged part of its strategy in Venezuela was to deal a blow to Cuba, and it seems to have accomplished that. Cabinet maker in New Brunswick says he'll use a last-minute surprise reprieve on U.S. tariffs to increase his opportunity to find some new customers. CTV's Laura Brown has more.
It was the last few hours of 2025 when kitchen cabinet manufacturer James McKenna received some unexpected but very welcome news.
We were extremely surprised, did not expect that it was happening, and greatly relieved. So first thing I did was got a hold of my U.S. customers, reached out to them and informed them of Trump's decision not to increase by 25%.
Upholstered furniture and finished wood products like cabinets and vanities were hit with a 25% tariff in October. U.S. President Donald Trump promised to increase it to 50% by January 1st. But in the 11th hour, Trump announced he would delay that move until 2027.
I think we can handle a 25% increase. Our U.S. customers are going to absorb half of it, and we're going to take half of it. At 50%, that would completely eliminate any chance of doing business with the U.S., and we've seen in December a drop-off in sales already, a drastic drop-off. Probably 50% of our sales in the U.S. have already gone away.
It definitely was a welcome relief, not a solution for us. As you mentioned earlier, we were hit October 1st with 25%, and in a manufacturing environment, that's very difficult to absorb.
There are no plans for layoffs at Glenwood Kitchens. James McKenna is hoping to find new markets this year and keep the ones he's already got in the States.
It's very difficult for us to plan our business. That's why, as a company, we're actively looking at business outside of the U.S. to try and recoup the loss, to grow our business. And if the U.S. business does come, that means we're all the better.
Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
A political fight emerging in Nova Scotia over future plans to find and keep more teachers. Educators are in greater demand with the population surge in recent years. The province says the situation is under control, with a committee making a list of recommendations to fix the problem.
We have enough teachers to staff every classroom, more than 10,000 full-time teachers and 3,000 substitutes, with a very high retention rate and a responsive approach to recruitment, issuing approximately 850 teaching certificates last year.
By her own admission, the deputy minister said there were no state secrets in that document. If so, what is the harm with making public common goals that the union and the government will collaborate on so everybody understands the solutions that are being worked toward?
Since the pandemic, Nova Scotia's population in the public school system has added about 10,000 new students. Among other things, the province has nearly doubled the number of education seats at universities. The end appears to be near for an iconic Halifax eatery. Demolition looks to be close at the former Salty's restaurant in the waterfront. The venerable eatery closed its doors in October of 2024 after the owners were unable to reach a new lease agreement with the property owners. A destination for decades, managers have said Salty's served more than 1 million lobster rolls and other signature dishes over the decades. Also hosted a number of high-profile politicians and celebrities over the years. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll check in on the charity sector, which is facing new challenges in this new year. Coming up next, though, another bridge too far.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous bridge. We love that New Brunswick heritage of the covered bridges.
Another historic New Brunswick covered bridge showing its age and problems. Details are next. Stay with us.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter.
What have you been putting off for way too long? We want to talk about that tomorrow at 7.
And Password to Paradise. We're getting ready to reveal the location for our broadcast in your trip. That's coming up on Friday.
The number of iconic covered bridges in New Brunswick continues to dwindle. Another has now been closed to traffic because of the state it's in. CTV's Derek Haggett has the details.
The future of another historic covered bridge in New Brunswick is up in the air. The province has closed the Cuchibaquaxis River No. 5, also known as Cameron's Mill Covered Bridge, for safety reasons.
It's a gorgeous, gorgeous bridge. We love that New Brunswick heritage of the covered bridges, and we love this property. It's a beautiful view looking out onto the bridge.
The Department of Transportation and Infrastructure says deterioration was discovered during a recent inspection. It's not known when or if repair work will begin on the 75-year-old structure.
We have to go around on the Desherbier road, which, when it comes to the springtime, if they're still working on the bridge, that's a problem because it gets quite boggy.
3 historic covered bridges were lost in 2025, including the William Mitten Bridge, which was torn down in February. The Covered Bridges Conservation Association says only 56 remain in the province. There were around 350 in the 1950s.
The bridges are instruments of transportation, and that's their primary purpose. But I'd like to see more, our association would like to see more emphasis and credence given to their heritage and economic values as well.
As for the Cameron's Mill Bridge, the province says it's evaluating future options. Derek Haggett, CTV News, near St. Ignace, New Brunswick.
Thank you, Derek. Quick little break here. When we come back, your complete maritime weather forecast. And we do have some weather heading our way. Kaylin has all the details coming up next. It is January the 6th, a little bit warmer tonight, I think, than it was last night. But with that comes a bit of a trade-off, I guess.
Yeah, the edge of the cold is coming out of much of the Maritimes. It has been throughout the day today, but tonight there are some scattered flurries, risk of a little bit of patchy freezing drizzle. And we've got a wintry mix of weather in the forecast for tomorrow. That's coming with a low-pressure system that brought a good deal of some snow, some freezing rain and rain to parts of southern Ontario for today. Taking a look then at our forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation as we make our way through the rest of tonight. It's cloudy skies, that chance of some flurries or some patchy freezing drizzle. And then Wednesday morning into Wednesday afternoon, we'll have this mixture of snow, freezing rain, and rain develop west to east across the Maritimes. Now, initially, it is expected to start as snow across much of New Brunswick before the southern half of that province mixes with some freezing rain and some rain. Same thing goes for Prince Edward Island and northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Other areas of Nova Scotia may initially see maybe a little bit of snow before a turn over to rain. The one part of Nova Scotia that is make her way into Wednesday evening and Wednesday night that could get back into a little bit more of a steady mix of snow and freezing rain is Cumberland County, as well as northern areas of Colchester County. And it's sort of this bullseye right here from that northern area of mainland Nova Scotia into Prince Edward Island, as well as around Moncton, the southeast of New Brunswick, that could really see the snow add up a little bit more as we move through Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, and into early Thursday morning. How much snow could that part of the Maritime see? In total, maybe with some amounts of around 5 to 15 centimeters, which doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, there'll be some freezing rain mixing in with that as well, so surfaces could become especially slick. For the remainder of Nova Scotia, it's mostly rain with rainfall amounts of between 5 and 15 millimeters, and northern areas of New Brunswick will mostly see light snow from this weather system, with some snowfall amounts ranging between trace up to around 5 centimeters. Winds aren't going to be a huge issue for it in the forecast for Wednesday. They'll be out of the east. They'll be sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, but with some gusts between 20 and 40, especially around the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Nova Scotia. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight for many parts of the Maritimes will fall into a range of around 0 to -6. It does get a little bit colder for the northern half of New Brunswick, where tonight a lot of low temperatures falling between -8 and -16. High temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick, -2 at Edmundston, -4 at Campbellton Dalhousie, and -1 at Miramichi. Down through central and southern areas of New Brunswick, near 0 for Fredericton for tomorrow, briefly up to around +2 for St. John, and then near 0 for Moncton in the southeast of New Brunswick. Prince Edward Island during the day tomorrow with high temperatures that'll range between around -1 and +1. And again, PEI, especially heading into Wednesday evening and Wednesday night, could get into a slippery mix of both snow and freezing rain. Eastern areas of Nova Scotia for tomorrow with high temperatures mostly between 1 and 4 degrees, with northern and central parts of the province with high temperatures between 2 and 4 degrees. And be careful in Cumberland and northern Colchester counties about that more significant mix of some snow and some freezing rain. The Annapolis Valley for tomorrow with high temperatures between 3 and 5 degrees, and looking at 3 to 5 degrees for high temperatures as well on the south shore of Nova Scotia. Taking a look at the extended forecast for New Brunswick coming up Thursday morning, there may still be some flurries around, and then on Friday it's a chance of showers. Temperatures fairly mild heading into the start of the weekend. Gets a little bit chillier on Sunday with some snow in the forecast, and then seasonably cold through the start of next week on both Monday and Tuesday with a mix of sun and cloud, and high temperatures will be in the minus digits. Taking a look at the forecast for Nova Scotia, it's flurries for Thursday, followed by a mix of sun and cloud on Friday. And then we've got isolated showers in the forecast for Saturday with high temperatures around the mid to high single digits. Rain in the forecast for Sunday, followed by a chance of flurries on Monday and Tuesday, a mix of sun and cloud. And for Prince Edward Island in the forecast, some flurries holding on to Thursday morning, followed by a mix of sun and cloud for Friday. It's a chance of showers on Saturday, then a mixture of showers and flurries on Sunday, highs near 3 degrees. Flurries in the forecast for the start of next week, a little bit chillier on Tuesday with a high near -3. Bruce.
A little bit messy, but could be far worse, hey? Okay, we're going to step aside for a moment. Stay with us. There's more to come.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
It's well documented charities are finding it harder and harder to keep up with demand. And when the holiday donations certainly went a long way, a lot of Maritimers need a helping hand all year round. As CTV's Emma Convey shows us tonight, the new year has brought some new challenges for those who need support and as well for those who provide it.
Volunteers at Parker Street Food and Furniture Bank are hard at work packing food boxes for families in need. A new year brings new challenges.
Demand actually is always increasing here. I don't know that there's ever a year where we haven't done more than the previous year.
They saw a number of donations through their doors this holiday season, which will sustain them for the next 2 weeks.
Around the middle of January, that does start to dwindle down a little bit, and we start looking for extras like potatoes, carrots, onions, all of the things, the staples that you need to make meals.
Financial donations are in high demand this time of year to fund their emergency program, to pay people's heating and hydro. But they aren't the only ones looking for financial donations.
I'm at the beginning of a new budget year, so I'm kind of back at one, and I don't know how donations are going to look for the rest of 2026. So we have to start out in January a little bit conservatively. So we can't just go crazy shopping because I don't know how much money I'm going to get in. But the demand is just as high.
Souls Harbor Rescue Mission says they really saw businesses and companies step up over the holidays and are in good position for 2026. But they do see a dip in donations this month as well.
We basically expect that Christmas donations to lead us into Easter. Another campaign would start at Easter and donations would be picked up again by that time for sure.
Their mission is province-wide. They see about 600 people through their doors a day. The need never seems to slow down.
Cash flow is very important because it allows us to purchase what's needed when it's needed, but obviously any type of donations, whether it's food items, hygiene items, clothing items.
Emma Convey, CTV News.
All right, time for one final break. Coming up, fostering works of art and friendship at the same time. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at snowy Fredericton on this Tuesday night, approaching midnight, -7 in the Elm City. Kaylin's wake-up weather is coming up next. Okay, middle of the week now upon us. In fact, first week of January is now Gonzville already, or it will be at the end of today.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, starting off the day for tomorrow, we need to watch for some slick spots around the Maritimes, with more possibly to come as we move from the morning into the afternoon, especially areas of New Brunswick, and then potentially northern areas of Nova Scotia, Cumberland, Colchester counties, especially as temperatures start to get a little bit colder again Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. And same thing goes for Prince Edward Island. Remember, much of the remainder of Nova Scotia mostly looking at rain out of this next weather system. Bruce.
All right, thanks, sir. We'll see you again tomorrow. Well, for adults with intellectual disabilities, it can be a real challenge to find a sense of belonging in the community. As CTV's Avery McRae tells us tonight, though, in Uptown St. John, Creative Connections has come up with a way to foster both works of art and friendship.
If you're on the hunt for a new piece of art to hang in your house, look no further than the works from the 16 talented artists at Creative Connections.
Creative Connections are a really good place and makes me inspired of doing some artwork.
At this Uptown studio, art and friendships bloom. Members bond while creating vibrant and unique pieces for sale.
Sometimes the world can be really isolating, especially for people with any kind of a difference. And having Creative Connections means that the people who come here get to build real meaningful friendships across difference.
What are you working on?
A very sentimental picture.
Patrick McGrath has been creating here since the program began nearly a decade ago. For him, the art comes second.
Meeting all sorts of friends, and the fact that each person has a unique personality and a unique feature.
Artist Carla Simmons loves to knit and create with clay. But like McGrath, it's the friendships that keep her coming back.
I like the new friends from here.
When people build relationships across difference, when people can feel a sense of belonging and being themselves, it makes the world a better place.
Making art side by side while connecting to the community and each other.
For lots of them, it's the only place that they go independently to be with friends who otherwise wouldn't have access to friendship that can really change their lives.
And that may be the true masterpiece of the program. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Avery. That is your late news for this Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. If you joined us a little bit late tonight or you'd like another look at anything you've seen, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's always your home for news updates right around the clock. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us this evening. Have a good night. We sure hope to see you again tomorrow.